What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Draft Day Dynasties. I'm C. Jackson Cowart, the community manager here at Wolverine Studios. And if you're staring at the screen wondering what the heck is going on, that means you probably haven't seen our previous 6 episodes of this streaming series of Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2022, which you can find on our YouTube and Twitch channels. In last week's stream, we ran through all of the highlights and lowlights from my first regular season at Hawaii, and we attempt to solve the question of do we or don't we play Victor Willis more minutes at center. We'll get into that a little bit more in just a bit. And this time we're going to be hopping right into the conference tournament game, which we'll sim live on here, and we'll see how far that takes us. One quick shout out at the top. Obviously, the NFL draft is going on literally as we speak. It's on commercial right now. I'm sure you're watching it. So appreciate you guys joining us on this Thursday night while that's going on. With the NFL draft in mind, Wolverine Studios is actually having a massive draft day sale on Draft Day Sports Pro Football 2022 from now through the end of the draft on Saturday. So it's currently selling for $16.99 on the Wolverine Studios website. That's over 50% off the list price of $40. So if you haven't checked the game out by now, I can't recommend enough grabbing it, especially at this price, probably the lowest price that you'll maybe ever see a recent release of any Wolverine Studios game. So definitely recommend checking that out. But let's jump right into things here because we have a very exciting episode ahead of us. If you're if you're watching the stream live right now, if you're in the chat, say hello. Let us know that you're here. There's going to be hopefully a lot to react to in this episode. I think it's going to be a pretty fun one. So let me know if you're here watching with us. Appreciate those of you that are. And let's just hop right into the action here. So if you watched last week, you know that we were kind of fiddling around with our rotation, trying to figure out the right combination to lift this 13 and 16 Hawaii team into the big dance here, into the big tourney. Right now we're in the conference tournament for the Great Pacific Conference, and we are favored to win this game, but it's going to be an absolute rock fight. So let's go through quickly and look at what the rotation is that we settled on. Last week I put out an all-hands call to help me sort out the rotation before the tournament, so I appreciate those of you that did reach out or pipe up in the chat to try to say what you guys think we should do with this. This is what I've settled on, at least for now. I've got Victor Willis in here. He was kind of the big question mark last week. I've got him down for 20 minutes right now. I think that's a good happy medium between, he does have scoring potential, but all of the advanced stats told us that when he is on the court, bad things happen for Hawaii basketball. So we're going to try to limit his minutes a little bit. As you can see here, we have Amari Charity playing a lot of minutes. He's playing 36 minutes. Do I expect him to play 36 minutes in this game? Not really. Foul trouble and just general fatigue will probably bring him a little bit below that number. But anytime we can get Amari Charity in the lineup, I think that's something we should do, especially with his athleticism and just his overall, his skill on defense, his scoring prowess inside and out. That's a guy who I think is going to lead us to a win if we win. And we're going to win, right? This is Hawaii basketball. That's what well, that's not exactly what we do according to the record, but that's what we'd like to do. And then the only other big change I made to the rotation here, Dante Waldman. If you watched last week's episode, you looked at those advanced stats, you know he is the guy, he is the catalyst for everything we do. When Dante Waldman is on the court, it's a positive net rating pretty much no matter how you slice it. When he's off the court, it is rough. So Waldman is going to be the steady hands here to hopefully guide us to a tournament win. And then the only other change I made, non-lineup related, is we're going full into Princeton offense here. We had it at 80 and 20, 80 Princeton offense, 20 motion offense. But as you can see, our guys know how to play the Princeton. I mean, Waldman knows how to play it. Baker knows. The oldest Willis brother knows. And Victor Willis knows it enough that I think he's going to, in the minutes that he's here, he'll be able to, captain us down low. The center is obviously a crucial position for the Princeton offense. And then you look at Charity. I mean, he doesn't know the Princeton that well, but I'll tell you what, he knows it better than the motion offense. So we're going full Princeton here. We're going full 1-3-1 defense on the other side. We're going to favor outside. This is going to be a volatile approach from Hawaii basketball, but hopefully one that we have down pat and can take advantage of this matchup that we have in the first round here against Long Beach State. If you look at the preview here, we'll just look at this briefly and then we'll hop right in. They were even worse than we were. They were 12 and 18. Not a great season for the Miners. We beat them twice when we played them in the regular season, and we beat them pretty soundly the last time we played. Vegas has us as a 2.5-point favorite here. Nod to Vegas with the NFL draft here. Vegas likes Hawaii in this game. They think it could be somewhat of a high-scoring game. I tend to agree. So let's just go ahead. hop right in here and see what we are able to do. I'm not going to do a ton of these game streams on here, but we'll see if we can maybe, watching this will spark some positive fortune for this Hawaii team. So here's the starting lineup. You got Reese Brown here averaging 17.3 points a game. He is going to be trouble for this Hawaii defense, which is not that good, but is a very, turnover forcing defense. I'm hoping that we can speed up Long Beach State, really force them into mistakes, try to double team Reese Brown if he's giving us trouble. And this is the matchup that I like right here. Mike Kenna against Victor Willis. Mike Kenna is not good. He is, from all accounts, our assistant coach is scouting, he is not a good basketball player. And so if we can take advantage of him down low, he's only 6'8", so I'm not really too worried about them having a size advantage, which is the easiest way to beat this Hawaii team, is just, throw size at us. There's nothing we can do. But Long Beach State isn't equipped to do that. So, worried about Reese Brown. Think we can take advantage of Mike Kenna. Let's see how this goes. All right. Let's go right to tip-off here. We're going to go game speed 10. Hopefully we can speed through this one, and if it's a victory, we'll be able to do a little more of these. Pause at all stops. We'll turn that off. We will turn off sounds, and we will go right back to the game. Make sure, I'm sorry, enable auto sub. Yes, we want them to do that. Pause at all stops, no. Here we go. Let's let it rip. All right off the bat, giving up a 3. That's not exactly what you'd like to do, and giving up another one. Okay, I'm going to turn this down to 9, because I do like to have a little bit more of a sense of what's going on in this game. So we're down 8-0. That's not great. This team with running a 1-3-1 defense, it is vulnerable to giving up incredibly easy buckets. So that's always what you're worried about. And that's what we're seeing right now. Long Beach State already shooting 66% from the floor. They're really just getting everything they want. But we're willing to play that game. If we can force enough turnovers, shoot enough threes, really kind of speed this game up. But right now, it looks like we're the only ones being sped up. We've turned it over 3 times, only made 20% of our shots. Not the start that I was hoping to see. But there we go. Starting to even this up here. This is actually the first game this entire season that I've been able to watch my Hawaii Spartans go at it. So hopefully some of my favorite players here, Waldman and Charity and the Willis brothers here, all 3 of them, can hopefully step up in this moment. So I'm liking what I'm seeing now. We're getting a little closer. Right as I say that, they're building up. But if we can keep this around a 5-6 point game by halftime, especially when we get down to the second half and fatigue sets in for both sides, more turnovers, sort of sloppy play by the opponent. But that's not what we're seeing so far. We're just giving up easy bucket after easy bucket. Look at that, another turnover by Hawaii. This is not how I would hope that we would start, especially being favored in this game. But it's close enough. All we need is a chance. And if we can pull this out, given our volatile approach on both sides of the ball, I think we could probably beat anybody in the Great Pacific Conference, but it's going to take a lot here. Also, I just realized that this court has been downloaded from somewhere that is from the modding community, but not in any way reflective of our friends at Wolverine Studios here. This is my own personal mod. Shout out to the modding community for what they do, but this is not the court that the Hawaii Spartans are technically playing on here, so just go ahead and disregard that. But all right, this lead has gotten slightly out of control for Long Beach State. They're still shooting over 60% from the floor. They're not even really taking threes. They've only attempted 4 threes all game, but they're just getting whatever they want inside. They're not even going to the line. We're not fouling. We're not doing anything to keep them from just kind of doing whatever they want here. So I don't know if we're going to be able to overcome a 13-point deficit if it holds at halftime. We got to cut this a little bit. 15 points now. Yeah, this is rough. I wonder if this is a product of playing our guys too many minutes here, but man, nobody on this team can get anything. So if we can halftime approaching here, it's going to be a 15-point deficit. That is brutal. All right, 13. So let's see what halftime can bring to our guys. Check out the stats to see just what is going wrong here. Maybe something we can do. All right, so there it is, Reese Brown. Reese Brown is the guy that's causing a lot of mayhem for us inside. 6 of 9. Nice stat line there. Man, nobody else is really doing too much damage. Daniel's shooting 50%. This guy's shooting worse. Nobody else has more than 5 points, but that is rough to see from Reese Brown. So, all right, coming out of halftime, we know what we got to do. We know what we have to do on defense at least. On offense, I'm not really seeing any answers. Willis has 7 points because he's getting to the line a lot, so he's our leading scorer. The guy that we decided not to play is the only reason that we're even in this game on that end. But a rough day from McInnes. Charity just hasn't even taken a shot attempt in that regard. He did get to the line on one, but that's rough. So, all right, let's get back here, and I think that we are going to have to make an adjustment here. So, let's go back to here. I think if we can go... Where is he at here? Reese Brown. Yeah, I don't want to do it from here, but I want to figure out... There it is. Do it over here. What are we going to do with this guy? I think we got to double team Reese Brown for a little bit. I'm going to slow down the speed here in this second half and see if maybe we can fluster them a little bit. So I'm going to double Reese Brown. So, all right, we have the ball on offense right now. That's a good start. Charity finally taking a shot here. We're going to double Reese Brown, see if it can force some turnovers on the other end. Instead, we just give up an open bucket to the one guy I'm not afraid of. But, all right, Reese Brown's still getting his, but I think that's the right decision. If we can double him every time down. But we got to get some shots going. There's Willis, misses the shot, unfortunately. They run right down, and they are just carving us up inside. Look at this, 18-point game. This is brutal. I'm going to have to start hitting threes. I might have to force threes in a minute here if we aren't able to do something different. Yep. Reese Brown gets it again. He's shooting wide open three. This is a 20-point game. That's it. We're shooting threes. 3-3-3. It's the only way we're going to be able to get back into this. Todd Willis gets it to the other Willis. Man. Just nothing. This is really going out with a whimper. An absolute whimper from our guys at Hawaii. So it's a 19-point game. I'm going to speed this up a little bit because I think we probably know where this is going to end up. But man, you spend all that time, right? All the time in the summer figuring out what you want your lineup to look like, figuring out what offense, what defense you want to run during the season, following the trials and tribulations. You know, you watch your guys get hurt. You adjust the lineup for them. Look at that. Reese Brown just hit, is that 20 points? Yeah, of course he did. So it's a 16-point game now. If we can force some mistakes, then maybe, just maybe, but not holding out any hope. But man, it is tough to watch just your heart and soul go into such a brutal effort like this. This isn't even the big dance, not even the big tournament that we're trying to win here. It's just the conference tournament. You guys can't even get past Long Beach State? Like, you've already beat them twice. All right, here we go, though. Here we go. Only an 11-point game. We're starting to heat up. Still 12 minutes left in this thing. Looks like doubling Reese has been a smart decision for us. And I'm liking the tempo we're playing at. But we're going to have to continue to get stops. This is a good defensive possession right here. But they give up a three. That's the bummer about the 1-3-1 is anytime you do give up a shot, there it is, another three. Anytime you give one up, you know there's a chance it's going to be just a wide open shot. Here we go. If we can get some steals, though. We forced 15 turnovers, but we've committed 16. That's not what you like to see. Yeah, Lex says tough break on offense. I know. This is just a brutal display on Hawaii's side, shooting 42%. I mean, we're shooting 44 from three. Like, that's what you'd like to see. We got to shoot more threes here, try to get us back into this game. This is an excellent defensive possession right here from Hawaii. Perfect. Throws the ball away. That's what we like to see. But we got to start shooting threes. And we got our backups in here, so this is really going to be a strong run for us. Yeah, it's just clock is running out. 18-point game, 7 minutes left. I mean, I've seen crazier, but not when I'm the beneficiary, I'll tell you that. Man. Curious to hear if you guys have had a situation where you essentially blew out a team twice in the regular season and then faced him again in a must-win spot and just put up such a paltry effort. I mean, there's a chance we're going to lose this game by 20-plus points. Like, that's just inexcusable. I mean, at a certain point, do I point the finger at myself or the players quitting on me? Like, what's going on there? Start to take it personal when guys like McInnes are shooting 4 of 11. Waldman's my guy. I just said, let's play him 36 minutes. Waldman, let us know what you can do. And he's letting us know by shooting 2 for 7. And Victor Willis with the real revenge game here. Throwing down a dunk in garbage time. It's really sad when there's 4 minutes left in a must-win game and you're already calling it garbage time. But that's what this game has been. Just a despicable effort. It really makes me wonder whether Hawaii is a place that I can win. Because, man, you can't even get out of the first round of the Great Pacific Conference when we have like 2 3.5 stars, 4 3-star guys. Like, this feels like a team that, when I looked at this roster at the beginning of the year, I really thought that it had a chance to, like, make actual noise. Not just make the noise of a dying animal like they're doing right now. There we go, 69 points for Hawaii. Nicely done. I hope we end there. Just an embarrassing display. Don't even attempt another shot. There you go. They're going to let the clock run out. Long Beach State passing it around. Oh, they decided to shoot. That's kind of disrespectful on their end. There you go. Half-court heave for nothing. 91-69. Final score. Bree says, noise of a dying uncooked beef with the AI. Man, that's... We're the dead cow right now. And Provo is a nice filet mignon, I'm sure. I'd be curious to see if Provo is making the tournament and what they're doing. Wow. Just a despicable final display here. If we can see, is it going to show us the box score? I don't even know how much I want to look at this. I feel like puking right now, but... Oh, man. All right. So this is the final box score of my first season in Hawaii. Lex says it was garbage time since they went up 8-0. I know. That was a rough start. I mean, you can't overcome a start like that when you're down, 12-2 or whatever, and then you can't even stop them inside of us. So let's look at the team stats first and then break this down a little more. So on offense, I mean, I'm not expecting that much more. Like, we shot 41%, which, look, that's not good. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that's a good stat line, but we shot 37.9% from 3. We hoisted 29 of them, which that's what happens when about halfway through the game, the coach, i.e. me, is just screaming threes only. Can't be missing that many free throws, but we probably could have taken 50 more free throws and still lost this game. But that's the number that really hurts right there, is 20 turnovers. Look at that. Trayvon Walker taking number 1. That's much more encouraging than seeing this box score right here. 20 turnovers, 69 points. That's just simply not going to cut it in the conference tournament when you're giving up 91. I don't know if we've even given up 90-plus points since we played North Carolina or maybe Nova early in the year. So the other side, this is the crippling number right here. 63% from the floor. It's making me wonder whether the 1-3-1 is really something that I want to commit to long term, because that's awful. That is an awful, awful display. They only shot 9 threes. That means they went 34 from 56 from inside the arc. 34 from 56. So I'm going to do a little mental math there. That's 60.71%. Did that in my head. From inside the arc. 60%. I mean, let alone the fact they shot 77% from behind. All right, I'm heated up. They turned it over 20 times too. You like to see that, but absolutely heated with the effort of my guys in our first tournament game ever. And that's what they have to show. Just disgraceful. So let's go ahead and just advance past here. I don't even know if I want to see what's going on. Probably not. Sim season, right? Let's get out of here. That is rough. And just like that, my Hawaii Association's first season ends on a simulation screen, because that is how things have gone. So for for those of you who have stuck through it from the beginning, I appreciate you putting your time and your efforts into this poor Hawaii squad. But hey, we have something to look forward to next year. We got a couple nice recruits. Not maybe the recruiting class I was hoping for, but if we can get some transfers maybe. I think we have one spot left for a transfer, and we have a ton of money to do something with it. Yeah, Lex says GG. I mean, I'm honestly... Look, don't tell the athletic director or anything, but I'm starting to think about maybe where my next paycheck's going to come from, because I think I learned a lot this first season of Hawaii. Here's the 5 lessons. Well, 3. They didn't even give me enough to learn 5 lessons. I learned 3 lessons from my first season in Hawaii. 1, nobody under the age of 18 has any interest in the tropics, in luau's, in snorkeling, hiking, volcanoes. Apparently these are all elder interests. These are things that you grow with, that you mature over time. You become interested in nice grainy sand and warm weather. I guess I didn't realize that was something that was age related. So that's one thing I learned. Second thing I learned is not to put too much stock in a freshman. I had a lot of hopes for Amari Charity coming in this year. I kid you not, guys. I thought there was a chance that he might win Great Pacific Player of the Year. I don't even think he was the best player on my team. I don't even know who was. I feel like they were all tied for the worst. I mean, Dante Waldman, I'll give that man credit. He steadied the boat the whole way through. Like I said before, any lineup he was in was a better lineup than one he wasn't. But man, when you shoot whatever he shot, that last look, I think it was 2 for 7. He probably ended even worse than that. So, number 2 lesson, don't put too much stock in a freshman. And the number 3 lesson, don't trust Vegas. For any of you that saw that Hawaii was favored by 2.5 points here, yeah, you lost money if you laid your money on the Spartans. That was rough. That was a rough showing from Vegas and a rough showing from Hawaii. So, alright, we're almost to the end of simulating this. There we go. And let's see what the athletic director has to say. Oh, awards. Award time? Yeah, I don't think I won any awards. Might have won an award for the most embarrassing display in the tournament. Alright, click advance. See what awards we won. Oh man, alright. League awards. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be up for Coach of the Year, if I had to guess. I thought I might, but I learned the hard way. I do really like this presentation screen, though. This is really clean. So, all right, let's go national. I'm curious to see what's happening here. Shabazz Lane wins the Norton Award, playing for San Diego State. Player of the Year. Looks like Kansas had a pretty good run, most outstanding player. So I'm guessing Kansas probably won the whole thing. And then Donnie Bryson of Kansas. So let's look at our conference here. Great Pacific. Yeah. Reese Brown, man. Player of the Year. I don't doubt it. 17 points a game, 7.4 rebounds. Yeah. Yeah, he certainly showed us that he was worthy of it. And then Cal Santa Barbara. Their coach, Josh Marcus, Coach of the Year. 24-9 record. Cal Santa Barbara, goodness gracious. Looks like he could rely on a freshman. He didn't learn the lesson as hard as I did. All right. Advance to the offseason here. Please, get me out of this first season of Hawaii. Let me go to the Hawaiian shores, maybe for the last time. I don't know. What do you guys think? If I'm offered a good job here, should I jump ship? Should I see if there's something else to do here? Job hiring. Let's see if I got any emails. All right, coaching jobs available. Season review. Oh, man. Qualify for the tournament? No. Finish top 3? No. I like this. Try to get a next year coach. Real encouraging email. I'll tell you what, if you're a coach at a small school in real life and you get an email from your athletic director that says try to get a next year coach, you should be worried about your job security. Like, that is embarrassing. Finish above 500? Yeah, I want to see a winning program here, coach. Look, I do too. I would like to see a winning program. Maybe give us a little more money and give us some better players. Improve school prestige? Failed. Moving us in the wrong direction. All right, well, let's see what coaching jobs are available. So I'm going to hit advance here. And I might just take a peek. I don't know if I'll necessarily take a job if there's a good one available. So let's sort by prestige. And yeah, I'd love to be the third assistant. And let's sort by position. Actually, I'm going to sort by prestige, and then I'm going to show head coaching jobs only. So here's what we have available to us. Oh! Okay. Now that's a little bit interesting, right? The Auburn job is open. B facilities, B- academics. Now, hopefully they realize that my academic prowess is a little closer to an F, but Auburn's available. Penn State's available. See if any other names jump out here. Not really. If I wanted to go to the Western 12, Washington State, Oregon State, not bad jobs there. Charlotte would get me a little bit closer to my lifelong goal of coaching the North Carolina Rams. I want to see Breeze or Lex or anybody else in the chat. What jumps out to you guys? Are there any jobs here that you would take? If you're sitting at Hawaii and you just finished, 16-20, I think is what our final record was when it's all said and done. I don't think I'd take anything lower than here. I'd rather just stay at Hawaii. I don't think anything jumps out. Malibu, that sounds pretty good. But I am certainly intrigued by Auburn. Now, I think this might be something new this year. You have to apply to these jobs, and you don't necessarily get the job right away, which I love that. That's such a brilliant addition by the dev team. Shout out to them. But Auburn would certainly be interesting. Coming off a 17-15 record, 47 prestige. That's a huge jump from Hawaii being 28. Lex said Nebraska had good grades. Yeah, what's up with that, huh? Nebraska, A facilities? B- academics, that's fine by me. Looks like they went 11-19 last year, Cam their coach, so they're ready for a new start. Nebraska is certainly compelling. I do love having elite facilities. That's just an easy pitch, right? I mean, you don't only have to worry about location, which is essentially what I'm doing right now. And I'm in Hawaii, so it really limits the ability to pitch on location. Then Penn State is another one. I mean, they're coming off a winning record, 19-15. They were okay in conference, which the Midwest 10 Conference is obviously a pretty good basketball conference. That's an interesting job. So I think I'm really narrowing my focus here to Auburn, Penn State, and Nebraska. I mean, you could make a case. Lex says, trade living in paradise for cornfields instead. I know, I got to think about my own well-being here if I really want to leave Hawaii for Nebraska. And that's no offense to any of our Nebraskan viewers here. It's a lovely state, but, it's not quite Hawaii. But recruiting, I mean, it's not like the Nebraska region is necessarily going to be the most fertile. I'm guessing that sort of like Hawaii, you're probably looking at a 4-star, a couple 3-stars, and then drops from there. But certainly interesting. I have a lot to think about here. Penn State might be the one that I'm most interested in because I know that Pennsylvania is an area that I can recruit in. That whole region, the Northeast region, but especially Pennsylvania, it's a huge state. Lex says maybe Richmond. Yeah, Virginia's a really hot spot to recruit too. The only bummer is their academics is A-, so I'm guessing that they're only going to want to bring in players with high GPA, high SAT, and my coach academic focus is low enough that I feel like that might be a bit of a tough fit. So I have to consider that when looking at some of these places. I don't want to be a mismatch in terms of what I'm pitching and what they're valuing. So that's tough. It really is tough. And then you go back and look at our roster, like, this is not a bad roster going into next year. So we're going to lose Todd Willis, and we're going to lose Dante Waldman. And that's tough because those are two really good players. But you guys know how I feel about Amari Charity, and he let me down hard in this final game. But if he comes back, he develops, he learns a little bit more on the offense and defensive schemes. You pair him with, I have a really good 1-2 punch along the wing with McInnes and Hope. Maybe toss the third Willis brother in there at point guard. He's only a sophomore. And then we have a couple more recruits coming in who are going to be, legitimate impact guys. If you go to the recruiting screen, we have Rashaw along the wing, who's just sort of a jack of all trades. I mean, he really does everything. I feel really good about what we're getting with Derek Rashaw, especially. I mean, this dude averaged 15 and 7 with 3 assists, almost 4 blocks and almost 3 steals. And then Marcus Floyd, like, that's a big man, 6'2", 271. That's a dude where if he figures it out, that could be really interesting. So I got a lot to consider with this new job. I mean, I can stay here, I can build at Hawaii, I can build this program that I've been so invested in, that all of you have been so invested in, or I can jump for greener pastures, or as Lex likes to say, cornfields. It's a tough call. So that's one I'm going to have to think about a lot over the next week. I'll solicit your guys' thoughts on the Discord and the forums about, what jobs you guys think I should take. I might actually post a screenshot of some of the available jobs and the ones I'm considering. Maybe we'll get a little bit of a poll on Discord on whether I should stay or whether I should take another job. So I'm going to ponder that over the next week. But I think that'll do it for this week's episode. I wasn't sure whether we were going to have to go a little long, if maybe Hawaii was going to make a tournament run. Now I feel a little silly for even thinking that was going to be a possibility. Lex said, could run it back and build up that resume. You are right. It's not like this is going to be the only time where there are jobs available. I could run it back, actually win some games, have a winning record, see what I can do with kind of this young group that knows my system, right? I mean, I'm a 1-3-1 coach. I can't just do that at any school right away. I'm definitely a second, third, fourth year success type of coach. So, but it is compelling. I think it's going to be a really interesting decision. I'm not kidding you guys. I'm actually going to think about this over the next week, off camera, off screen. Like, I'm really going to have to consider the different factors here. So, I appreciate you guys joining on this one. You guys have a bit of a head start knowing what I'm considering here. But definitely do interact in some of those, in the poll that I'm going to drop. And just drop your thoughts overall on this episode, on what I should do next episode, what you guys think about this stream, the game, anything like that. Please let us know on the forums, on Discord, anywhere you may find us. So next episode, obviously, it'll be heavy on the coaching hiring. See if any schools, were impressed enough with my 16-20 record to actually hire me, as opposed to just float the idea of hiring me. So we'll see what that looks like. So 2 quick things before we go. As always, the number one thing, if you're not already subscribed to our Twitch channel, how dare you? You get a free subscription just by linking your Twitch account to your Amazon Prime account. So if you have Prime, you have Twitch, and you're not subbed to us, I'm taking that personally. So please, if you don't want to anger me, upset me, if you don't want any tears coming from me over the next week, go ahead and subscribe to our Twitch channel. It really helps me. It helps the community. It helps Wolverine Studios. Really just helps all of this run along. So go ahead and subscribe on Twitch. The offer stands whether I take a new job or not. If you subscribe on Twitch, I will tell you which Hawaiian fish you most resemble. That is something I feel very strongly about. And then the other thing, don't forget, tomorrow is hashtag Franchise Friday. So use the hashtag on Twitter, on Instagram, on the Discord, anywhere you post. Let us know what's going on in your associations. I'm not the only one playing this game here. I know all of you guys are too. So post on social, share the highlights and the lowlights of what's going on in your own careers, or use it to ask a question or to, whatever you want, however you want to engage with us and the rest of the community. So hashtag Franchise Friday tomorrow. We're pretty excited about that. Speaking of our social, you guys know where to reach us by now if you're watching this series, but if you're new, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, Discord, Slack, Reddit, which we opened last week. If you're not a part of the Reddit community, please join that. It is growing by the day. It's one of my favorite places to engage with people in the community. So hop on there. And of course, the official Wolverine Studios, where it began and where it will continue to thrive. And if you want to reach out to me directly, you can find me here on Twitch or on Twitter at CJacksonCowart. If you go on the Discord, I'm active there. You'll be able to ask any question, and I'll answer it right away. And then the same on the Wolverine Studios forums. You can find me there. So if you want to reach out to me, that's how you do it. Appreciate you guys joining us on this Thursday and watching these streams every week. It means a lot to me. Thank you for watching this one, and I will see you next time.